Gatorade, get paid, get fucked. Oh. I wanted this video to come out a little bit quicker, but I've been way too busy playing Legends Arceus. Every single minute of free time that I can get, I'm trying to boot this game up. It's fun, it's addicting, it's ugly, and... Did I say fun? Now let's get right into it. The Switch is a 5-year-old glorified leapfrog tablet, and it's really starting to show its age. We know that games can look great on this console. Hell, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, 3D World, they're all gorgeous, gorgeous. Chef's kiss when it comes to the way the games look. So why does Pokemon look like it's running on the fucking Wii most of the time? Of course, graphics do not make or break a game. There's tons of factors, but it's things like this. The smaller sized hills looking straight out of Doom 64, trees looking like they were ripped out of Ocarina of Time. Great games, but I don't want to be looking at that in 2022. You get what I'm saying? The rain is so ugly, like blah, 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 blah. But sometimes the game is really, really pretty. Like, look. No. You can open your eyes now. I'm done showing the tiny little hills and the butt ugly fucking trees. Look at this. Oh. Absolutely beautiful. It's okay to think that this looks good because it does. And that's mostly due to the art design and not so much the engine that the game is running on. What really tickles my pickle Rick is that we can see that this game looks really pretty at times. Sometimes the models are really interactive with their environments and the sunsets look almost as good as Breath of the Wild. It's crazy that I'm saying this game doesn't look good as a Switch launch title, but I could go literally on and on and on about that as I just did. The game can look very, very good, and it can also look very, very bad, which leads to the game feeling rushed for the release date. Looks-wise. Gameplay-wise, it's fucking solid. This game is so much fun. I'm serious. I have not had this much fun playing a Pokemon game since X and Y. I've been a Pokemon fan all my life, and this is a breath of fresh air. You can dodge into a bush, whip a Pokeball out of your ass, and yeet that bitch at an innocent Bidoof. But then you gotta do that 15 more times. And then, and only then, can you complete its Dex entry. Now, if you've played a Pokemon game before, then you know that the goal is to become Pokemon Master. That can be accomplished by defeating the region's 8 gyms, defeating the region's Elite Four. Are those prime numbers? I'm an idiot. I'm a retard. Pokemon Master. That can be accomplished by defeating the region's 8 gyms, defeating the Elite Four and its respective champion, catching your game's exclusive legendary, and that tiny little thing that the professor mentioned at the beginning of the game, like completing hundreds on top of hundreds of Pokedex entries. When I was a dumb shithead little kid, I never saw much purpose in completing the Pokedex. Now that may be because my first game was Pokemon Diamond and there was a whopping 493 of those bitches in the game. My 10-year-old brain could barely count to 100, let alone upwards of 500. I didn't have the patience to want to go out and catch almost 500 Pokemans. That's like a lot more than 151, bro. More or less, completing the Pokedex was, for me at least, a job for a wee old pal that I haven't spoken to in years, and they go by the name of DS Action Replay. Man, that was a dirty, dirty little cheat. My objective in a Pokemon game has always been to catch as many Mons as I thought were cool. The Pokedex from Gen 3 onward is such a daunting task to even consider completing that I've only ever completed one Pokedex, and that's on my copy of Pokemon Blue. 151, baby, that's how we do it here. Now, why did I just ramble on and on and on about how my baby kids game is too hard for me to beat? That's because Legends Arceus is the first Pokemon game in years, possibly ever, that I've actually wanted to complete the Pokedex. The game takes place X amount of years in the past when what we know as the Sinnoh region has only just started to be inhabited by humans. This isn't your granddad's Pokemon. This is your granddad's Pokemon. You get what I'm saying? We, the player, are tasked with completing the first Pokedex ever. Like, ever. That, for me, is enough to put in the effort because it makes it feel so much more special. And it's not a one-and-done deal. Oh, no, sir. Like I said, these Pokemon you gotta catch, they've got a certain criteria that needs to be met if you want to complete that dex entry. This can vary from defeating it with super effective elemental moves, or feeding it a berry, or catching it by surprise, using a certain amount of moves, a certain amount of times. It's wacky. This one little feature makes it feel like a good amount of work to put in. Like, it makes sense almost. Now, with this being said, you are going to be catching a lot of Pokemon, and by a lot, I mean it's entirely possible for you to fill up an entire box, maybe even two, just going on one outing. So you're going to be releasing just about as many Pokemons as you're catching. And when I say a lot, it's not uncommon to release multiple boxes at a time in this game. But in this game, it rewards you. See, if you've been a fan of Pokemon, you've probably had to hear the terms IVs and EVs and titties, whatever. That's all thrown out the window with this game, baby. Remember how I said you release Pokemon and they reward you for it? Yeah, they give you a sack of dirt. But, you know what this sack of dirt does? It makes your Pokemans all that much stronger. Now, this is going to vary player to player, but this is one of the first Pokemon entries where I haven't been attached to my team. In a good way. Most games, I'm way too attached. I'm that one clingy ex that just won't leave you alone. Most games, I tend to stick with a main group of 6, and I never really switch them out unless I've known that I'm going to switch them out when I catch up Pokemon on a certain route. This game is constantly throwing new areas, new Pokemon, new alphas right at you, to a point where you can't stick to one team. The world is inhabited by so many unique living Pokemon from every region. It makes it impossible. It makes it impossible to be set in your old ways. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time in my life where I've taken my starter Pokemon out of my party.
I'm sorry, little one.
And I did this about halfway through completing the main story. I picked Cyndaquil, but after finding an Infernape, it made me think of, you know what? There are so many cool, awesome, underused Pokemon living out in this world that it'd be a shame if I didn't broaden my horizons. This game also incentivizes you to do this kind of thing with its new gimmick, that being the Alpha Pokemon. Now, we all know about Pokemon gimmicks, right? We've had Mega Evolution, we've had Z-Moves, we've had Dynamaxing. Personally, we peaked at Mega Evolution the first time, and we've just been regressing ever since then. Z-Moves were boring and dumb. If you disagree, then you just remember having way too much fun in the post-game of Sun and Moon, because those games were kinda garbage. Do not get me started on Dynamaxing. It's like they're sitting in the Game Freak room and they're like, you know what the gimmick could this time could be? Big Pokemon. We're gonna make them really big. Well, how big are you thinking, Tom? I'm thinking we make them super big. Touch the sky? I don't know. Dynamax felt lazy. It was weird. I didn't like it Get it out of my dumb children's game. There's some cool Dynamax forms out there, specifically Machamp, Gengar, and this one that's just a giant fucking cake. Make that into a Pokemon. Garbodor, a literal pile of garbage, he got a regional form. When it comes to Pokemon games and their quote-unquote gimmicks, Alpha Pokemon is such a good idea. It's almost like somebody was listening in to the boardroom meeting for Dynamaxing, and when they said make the Pokemon bigger, they were like, oh, just like a little bit, that'd be cool. But then they did Dynamaxing first. What if that was it? What if that's how they did that? What if the idea before Sword and Shield was just make the Pokemon bigger, and in Sword and Shield, they just made them too big? And then they met back up, and they're like, no, I wasn't talking that big, bro. I was talking just like a little bit bigger. And then we got Legends Arceus. Seeing alpha Pokemon living out in the wild, it's cool. And yeah, there's some that are set to always spawn there no matter what, but there's also a good amount of them that'll just spawn randomly, especially later you get in the game. It really makes you feel like special, like, oh my god, this is my big ass Eevee. Bigger than the rest of them. By just making Pokemon just a little bit bigger and upping their stats, it creates more of a challenge. It's ingrained in my head to now battle every alpha Pokemon, because even if I get absolutely obliterated by an alpha Snorlax's Hyper Beam, it's presenting a challenge, and that's something that I cannot say for most Pokemon games. The difficulty in this game is very present, but at the same time, almost self-imposed. Now, okay, hear me out. Let's say you do come across that alpha Snorlax, and you check and it's level 50. Not only that, it's 10 times the size of your Oshawott, and it knows Hyper Beam. You are screwed. Let's say you come across a Toxicroak, maybe 10 levels underneath you. It still has the potential to fuck up your entire team and bust a cap in your ass. For once, the level of a Pokemon doesn't really matter. A level 20 can do some significant damage to a Pokemon who's 20, maybe even 30 levels over it. It adds this unpredictability and this edge to every single encounter, even when they're not alphas. When in a battle, you have the opportunity to use either strong style moves or agile style moves. Strong moves hit way harder than your standard moves do, and agile style means that you, 1, get to attack first, but 2, you could possibly attack twice before the opponent can get 1 move in. Now, this doesn't sound very drastic on paper, but actually executing one of these styles correctly makes a world of difference. It's just refreshing enough to put some hair on your chest and pep in your step. Z-moves, get the fuck out of here. All my homies hate Z-moves. We're agile and strong style up in this bit. I think it's because there isn't one big, shiny new gimmick in this game that completely overshadows the heart of what a Pokemon game should be. Instead, with Legends Arceus being open world, the inclusion of strong and agile moves, as well as the alpha Pokemon, add just enough small little new things to make it feel so refreshing and the best Pokemon game in years. Oh, I cannot stress enough how much I love this game. Pokemon fans are a whole different breed of video game fans. They bitch, they moan, they obsess, they gatekeep, and worst of all, they continue to give money to the largest media franchise in the world, even though all they put out is more of the nostalgic, generic shit. But Legends Arceus doesn't feel like that generic, nostalgic shit. This game genuinely feels like it's had the most effort put into a Pokemon game, I'd say, since X and Y. It definitely has more effort than sex. I say just the word sex and I completely break. Oh. The game has a lot more effort put into it than X and Y, but it just... This game genuinely feels like it's had the most effort put into it in forever. This game is what Pokemon fans have been imagining since the beginning on the Game Boy. An open, explorable world with secrets hidden around every bush and in every cave. Wild Pokemon wandering about a breathing, living world. I remember the first time I played a Pokemon game just imagining what it would be like to jump into this fantastic world, to fight side by side these unimaginable team of monsters beside me every step of the way. Pokemon is a different breed of games. My grandma can tell you who a Pikachu is, but I bet you she couldn't do the same for Zelda, or Dragon Quest, or any other game by that matter. I'm shocked she knows who Mario is, too, to be honest. But that just goes to show how big Pokemon is. It's a whole different beast. I wasn't alive when Red and Blue came out, but it took the world by storm. Counterpoint, I was alive when Pokemon Go came out. I was 15, and if y'all can remember anything back in 2016, it was insane the amount of people who were playing Pokemon. It was inescapable the whole entire first year that that game was out. I mean, 2016 was pretty wacky for a lot of other reasons, but the fact that the entire world was playing Pokemon again just is the icing on the cake. Everyone likes Pokemon. It's physically impossible to look at this Pikachu and not go, aww. See, you did it right fucking there. This is why the Pokemon Company gets put on a pedestal. It's not just a video game. It's not just a card game or an anime or a fucking fruit snack for that matter. It's a feeling. It's the feeling of going back in time when you were a kid and life was simpler. I have so many memories of staying up late in the battle tower or counting down the minutes to recess so I can whip out my DS Lite and get some trade evolutions and help out all my buddies. It created this sense of community and friendship and wholesomeness that no other video game can ever do or ever really has done. This video went a little more off the rails than I was intending. I kept this to 2 paragraphs and it ended up being 2 pages. But that's what this franchise does to you. You can't just enjoy the games. No. You have to get sucked in and become a super fan for life. I don't know anyone who just plays a Pokemon game casually. You're either not a fan of kiddie game garbage, or you've been in this fight since you were 6 years old. Pokemon Arceus, I'm hoping, is going to be a whole new beginning for the Pokemon Company. One where they take risks, try new ideas, and really try to innovate on the 20-plus-year-old formula. And that seems to be the direction that they want to go if this game is any indication. Now, I've bought every single Pokemon game that's ever been made. And that's about it. I'm one of the super fan incels, simps for the Pokemon Company, but it's nice to finally be rewarded with a game that feels like it did have some effort put into it. And I'm not just playing this because, oh, I need my Pokemon fix. I'm jonesing for a fucking Pikachu. I wanted to play this game. It wasn't a chore like Sword and Shield was. It wasn't a weird fever dream that I feel like I remember like playing Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee was. Like, this feels like it's unlocking core memories. Like 10 years from now, I'm going to be almost as nostalgic playing this as I was my first time playing Pokemon Diamond back in 2007. I'm going to cherish those memories. And I know I'm going to cherish these ones. And it's like that for every Pokemon fan. I remember the first starter I chose, the first random shiny encounter, the first time I beat the Elite Four, the first time I beat the first gym was the Rock-type gym in Gen 4. I was getting ready for school, I was getting dressed, but I could not put my DS down. I would put one arm through a shirt, choose an attack. One arm through the shirt, choose a new attack. And I remember just before having to walk out the door and go get on my bus to go to little stupid kids school, I beat the first gym leader. And I can remember it clear as day. I was telling my mom, I just beat the Rock-type gym leader. And she was like, okay, get the fuck out of here. Go to school. I need to go to work. And I just... it's amazing how clearly I can still remember that. But I can't remember something I did a year ago. You know what I mean? All of these memories are far more momentous than anything any other game could ever try to do, ever. Pokemon is like South Park, where society just gives it a pass to do whatever the hell they want because they've been doing it for so long. South Park may be in a more positive way than Pokemon. But if the 6.5 million units that Legends Arceus has sold is any indication, and the game hasn't even been out for a full month, then it's easy to say that this could very well end up being the turning point for the Pokemon Company. Although Sword and Shield have sold over 20 million copies, so who knows? They might as well just shit out another carbon copy and have it sell hotter than hotcakes. But this game goes to show when Game Freak actually decides to put in the time and the effort, they can still make something that's truly amazing. But there's no thick wicks, so the game gets an 8 out of 10. Bye! Hey guys, thank you so much. If you stuck it out to the end of this video, it means so much more than you will ever know. But you know what would mean even more? Hitting that subscribe button. Oh yeah, that would get my jimmies rustled. That would fire up my engine. That turns me on. I'm hard. I have a boner right now just thinking about you hitting that subscribe button. Oh fuck, yeah, hit it.